podcast.
Do we
show,
start with
movie
the
episodes.
ratings?
Yeah, we'll start with the ratings.
So for
today.
Minions, I'm going to give this a solid 99.
Okay. That's good.
I thought Greer gave
We
gave a
start
great
with our
performance.
ratings.
That means there's room for improvement.
Yeah. I thought they could have showed more Kevin Butt, but
Kevin
Kevin
Butt?
Day? Kevin Day?
Dude,
Kevin's butt
Not
was
enough
in it?
Kevin Butt in Minions.
no, Kevin's butt.
Oh, you actually meant Kevin's butt?
Yeah, Kevin the Minion.
He shows
his
his butt?
butt was in it?
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
They do show his butt.
Nice.
Bob
you know
is the
whose else
coolest.
butt they show?
Who?
We get to see
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth's butt.
Oh,
And
I
his
mean,
cock
Thor.
and balls, too.
yeah.
They were out.
That was easily my favorite part of this movie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the PodRats movie show. I'm Brayden. Today we got the full crew. We got Alex, Christian, and Hunter. Say hello, everybody. It's been a long time.
Hello, everybody. It's been a long time.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Brayden.
And without
I'm
further,
just gonna get my mic situated here. Give me a moment. I didn't know we were going.
That's okay. It's okay. It's been a while. We're a little rusty. But yeah, without a further ado, we'll get into everyone's favorite segment of this podcast, movie news.
So, getting into movie news this week, we had a lot of sad movie news to start it off with, but don't worry because it all goes uphill from here. So, we're gonna start. Tony Sirico, James Caan, and Ray Liotta all passed away. I think all this week and last week.
Ray Liotta was I don't know,
Yeah.
it was 2 weeks ago or something. But yeah, the Tony and my boy James died like consecutive days apart.
Yeah, so Tony Sirico, famous for his role in The Sopranos, is Polly Walnuts. I don't think any of us have actually seen The Sopranos.
No, but hey, fun fact. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna cut you off, but he was actually like a mob dude, and then went to prison.
Well, with a name like Polly Walnuts, I think so.
No, that's Tony Sirico.
That was his screen name.
And then when he got out of prison, he became an actor.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
At least they live long lives, though, right?
Mob guys?
Some longer than others here, but yeah. Yeah, James Caan, famous for his role in Elf, and Ray Liotta, James Caan's
James Caan was also he was in The
stuff.
Godfather
Yes.
too. Yeah,
But-
and Ray Liotta in all the mob movies.
Yeah. All right, well, on
So it's very awkwardly
Yeah,
sad
yeah.
way to start it, but yeah.
that was just a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Stephen Yeun and Robert Pattinson are to star in a new Bong Joon-ho movie based on Mickey 7, the novel.
What's Mickey 7?
Mickey 7 was a novel from Edward Ashton. I believe it's like a space film. I did not actually read.
Is it like Mickey Mouse? Or
Yeah.
Like,
Hold up, here we go.
Okay.
Here's a synopsis. So Mickey 7 is an expendable, a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world Niflheim.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a
Niflheim.
mission that's too dangerous, even suicidal, the crew turns to Mickey. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. Mickey signed on to escape from both bad debts and boredom on Midgard. After 6 deaths, Mickey 7 understands the terms of his deal and why it was the only colonial position unfilled when he took it.
This is not
All right.
Mickey Mouse.
All right, so let's get into the
No.
Mickey 7 review
Anyways,
after the synopsis.
basically, it looks like
That's
yeah,
a lot of
some-
Norse stuff. Like
Yeah, it is.
Midgard, and that's Earth.
Did you see
Niflheim.
that like every A-lister middle-aged man in Hollywood auditioned for this role? And Bong Joon-ho like handpicked Robert Pattinson. He said like he was perfect for it and he was like by far the best one. But like a fuck ton of people auditioned for it. Like literally every big actor, like man that's around like mid-30s, they like all auditioned for it. And Robert Pattinson was the one who beat them.
Oh, no, actually.
Well, Robert Pattinson's a fucking king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, after Batman, I'm a Twilight fan again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stephen Yeun, who was in Minari. What other?
Nope.
Nope.
He's about to be in Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
Nope
excited
is
for that.
the biggest one. That's not out yet, but will be out soon. Mayhem. So,
Is that the end of this month?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something
coming
like
out in a
Yeah,
couple
July
weeks.
22nd.
Dude, it's already July.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we potted.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been that long because we're doing it right now.
True.
Yeah.
All right. On to an awesome piece of movie news. The Minions franchise has passed $4 billion with the recent release of The Rise of Gru.
$4 million?
$4 billion.
Minion.
Oh, God.
That's pretty insane.
It is actually
That's
kind
a lot of
That's
money.
a lot of money.
4 billion. Oh,
Dude,
God.
kids love them some Minions.
Kids.
Kids.
The bros.
All right. You know, the trend of frat guys wearing suits and going to see Minions, it is ruining these kids' experiences. I saw
yeah.
on TikTok
Oh, yeah.
that the kids, like parents and stuff, were getting pissed off.
They have no idea what's happening.
because the frat guys, there'd be like 20 of them that come in suits and just start screaming in the middle of the movie, like clapping and causing a scene.
Bro, that kind of reminds me of what happened when we were watching House of Gucci. Remember those obnoxious guys next to us?
Yeah. Just imagine a whole theater of that.
Oh my, could you imagine that in the middle of the Minions movie?
People who are not there to see the movie.
You see Kevin's butt and everyone starts fucking screaming,
Kevin's butt.
throwing popcorn at the screen.
What I think is super interesting about this is like, this is literally the exact like opposite of what happened with Morbius. And like, Morbius got memed super hard, but nobody showed up to watch it. This movie got memed super hard, but everybody is showing up to watch it. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, I never even saw Morbius.
Exactly.
But I saw this the day it came out.
Exactly.
Alex, you're the only one of us who has seen this movie. So do you want to talk about your opinions?
Yeah, I mean,
Give the cliff notes of if it's
I
a
might
banger.
as well. It's a great movie. There's a little Everything Everywhere All at Once clip in it.
Oh.
Michelle Yeoh is actually in this movie.
The multiverse of Minions.
Yes. So, not to like get you guys super hype or anything, but
That's pretty
it's
crazy.
basically just as good as Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Is The Rock in it? Not
No.
Dwayne Johnson, but the Rocks. Like,
Are there rocks
Can
in
you
the
save
movie?
that for
yes.
spoilers, bro?
Yeah, that is spoilers.
Sorry.
Hey, Hunter, to
Actually,
oh,
there is a rock. That's actually a pivotal part of this film.
There you go.
I totally forgot about that. But
There you
if
go.
you watch it, you're going to be like, oh my God.
There's the rock.
There's a rock.
I did not think about that, but yeah.
but yeah, hey, Hunter, to the Minions' credit, it's probably a more enjoyable experience than
Probably.
Morbius. That's probably why people go out and watch it.
Yeah, probably. You're
actually
probably right.
A fun movie. All right. After some controversial news recently, the recent decision by the courts, I guess, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, Johnny Depp is to play King Louis, is that 15?
Yeah.
Yes.
In La Favorite on this is debuting on Netflix France, and kind of interesting. I think this will be his next big role after the lawsuit. So
Is it a French movie?
it is. I don't know if it's in French. Didn't.
think Johnny Depp can speak French.
Yeah, does he speak French?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I kind of assume it's in English, but
I'm sure it is, but
By the time
but-
this comes out, no one's going to have a Netflix subscription anyway. So
yeah, true. They got to increase so that they can pay him this however much he's making.
monthly rate's about to go up.
Yeah.
Watch out.
The movie is said to be a result by a move by Netflix to invest about $40.7 million in French movies in 2022.
Oh,
So the French multiverse of Netflix. It's happening.
okay.
It's a day of
The
multiverses.
thing no one asked for, but they're getting.
Hey, maybe the France Netflix community is very strong. You know whose Netflix community is not very strong, though? Russia.
Yeah, it's a good point. Non-existent, some might say.
Non-existent, even.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this next piece of movie news?
Moving on to the next piece of movie news. This is not a joke. These next two pieces, we got some lighthearted fun in here. Quentin Tarantino praises Peppa Pig. Quote unquote, I watch it a lot. Peppa Pig, or Quentin Tarantino has been watching Peppa Pig with his son and has called it the greatest British import of this decade.
Yeah.
He's a Peppa
Wow.
Pig fanatic.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed.
I think he also said that this is the only movie his son has ever seen.
Well, he fucking loves it.
So, yeah. So,
It's the only movie he needs to see.
his dad is Quentin Tarantino, and his son is cultured. Only Peppa Pig.
Jesus Christ.
Watch his son become a director.
Probably
Like his
will.
biggest influence is Peppa Pig.
I've actually only ever seen Peppa Pig.
Actually,
He just starts making the most fucked
Hold
up
up.
movies.
this is not the only thing he's ever seen.
Oh,
He said his son, who's pretty
I
young,
just remembered.
has only really seen one movie.
Yeah.
It was Despicable Me Part 2.
He's a Minions fanatic.
Is this Peppa Pig a show?
yeah.
Yeah,
Peppa Pig
yeah,
is-
yeah.
Yes, yes. But, now there's speculation, maybe Quentin Tarantino ends his career with a Peppa Pig movie.
Or a Minions movie.
Or a Minions movie, yeah.
Could you imagine
Live action.
if the next insert into the Despicable Me franchise is directed by Quentin Tarantino?
They all just say the F word. And
There's a lot of murders. Blood.
yeah.
Oh god.
Brutality. All right. On to the final piece of movie news. James Cameron. Everyone try not to gasp or cry.
Okay.
Says he might not direct Avatar 4 and 5.
What about 3? We haven't even seen. There's not been a 2 yet.
Okay, but
You're thinking 20 years down the road.
yeah.
They filmed 3 simultaneously
Now,
with
Hunter,
2.
we are thinking
they
about
really?
50 years down the line.
4 and 5, dude. I'm going to be dead by the time those are in talks.
Considering this one, the first one came out when we were what, like 12?
I think James Cameron's gonna be dead by the time 4 and
That's
5.
probably
that's
why
probably
he's not
why.
directing them. Yeah.
That's probably why. Yeah, because 3, they started filming, like, literally right after they started filming 2.
Yeah.
So that's why 3's not in here.
Yeah.
I really like this quote that's underneath this.
Yeah, so Brayden alluded to some drama from James Cameron. Brayden, do you want to read the quote or do you
Real
want me
juicy.
to?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, so this was just to have some context. It's reported that Avatar 2 is going to be a really long movie. And so he had a quote for people that were worried about having a long runtime. I don't want anybody whining about length when they sit and binge watch television for 8 hours, he says. I can almost write this part of the review. Wait, what?
The agonizingly long 3-hour movie.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
the review that people are gonna leave.
It's like, give me a fucking break. I've watched my kids sit and do 5 one-hour episodes in a row. Here's the big social paradigm shift that has to happen. It's okay to get up and go pee. But yeah, that was the quote. I'm not gonna read the rest because that's the article.
It seems like the Avatar sucked the life out of him. Judging by that quote.
I think
You know-
that he sits at home and he's like, my kids are fucking binging Stranger Things, which is an hour and a half episodes a piece, and they watched them all in 2 days.
Yeah, and
I watched Volume 2 back to back.
I will also do that where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch a movie, but then I'll watch 2 hours of TV.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
It's really not. But it's like also I will say the final episode of Stranger Things 2, which recently came out this last week for you guys who don't know, but
Yeah.
that being 2.5 hours, that shit was grueling for me to watch. Like
It was pretty long.
I wanted to take a break. That was a lot of TV.
I mean, you got to be prepared when you sit down and you're like, I'm going to watch a TV show versus a movie. But
Yeah.
the thing is, if the TV show's good enough, then you'll just keep watching it.
yeah, but if the TV show, I mean, that is as long as like a long movie. Like if we saw a 2.5 hour runtime, bro,
pretty
the
long.
Minions was an hour and a half.
That's movies need to
Yes.
return to an hour and a half.
It was just enough to keep me entertained and not too much. They
We
got
just
the
need to
whole
keep
point
going to
across.
kids' movies.
Yes.
Where they are an hour and a half.
But like when movies first came out, they were also long as hell.
Yeah.
Like early movies, they're all 3 hours. Or like even like how The Godfather is like a 3-hour movie with an intermission.
Hey, I'd be okay if movies had intermissions, but they don't.
See, but the counter to that is that during a TV show, if you start a TV show and you don't like it, it's only an hour long and you can stop. But if you're sitting down and you're watching a movie, you're not going to want to get up and leave the movie because a movie is one, like it.
I don't like the pee thing. Like I cannot go pee in the middle of the movie.
If we go to a movie theater right now and watch a 5-hour movie, I'm not getting up.
Yeah, like I do everything I can. I will sit there and get a UTI before I get up and go pee in the middle. Yeah. Because like in my brain, like it's a movie and like I have to sit there and experience it all at one time.
You're afraid of like missing something and not getting the full experience.
Yes, because like I'll sit there in the theater and I'll watch people that like will walk out to go pee because I think it's a safe time to go pee, and then something will happen in the movie and I'm like, dang, that person's missing this. Like I don't know, I could never just like get up and go pee.
Yeah. Well, Andy actually did this one. We went and saw Top Gun Maverick. I had already seen it, but I wanted her to see it, and 10 minutes into the movie, she looks at me and she goes, hey,
10 minutes.
I forgot to go pee. I really got to go. When is a good time? And I'm like, fucking no, just don't get up. Like,
hold
I don't know. It was,
Bro,
I had to.
Mariah did the same thing. And it was at the part whenever, this is spoilers, whenever Tom Cruise crashes.
Oh,
yeah. And so
no.
then, like he's getting shot at and she's like, I'm going to piss my pants. and I was like, what? I was like, now?
You can't leave.
Yeah, and so she's sitting there like literally about to piss her pants trying to watch this thing.
That takes away from the
emotional.
experience.
Yeah, but like him saying that is like kind of bullshit because you can't hold your piss for that long. And like you get hungry during a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
So like there's,
Well, then go get some popcorn and it'll take as long as going to pee.
Yeah, well then what the fuck is the point of filming the whole movie? Put a fucking intermission in the middle of it.
What is the trend with filmmakers becoming old and cranky these days?
Yeah, fucking we had what?
Turning on their audience.
Yeah.
Calvin
Ridley.
Calvin.
I'm in football
We had
mode.
Calvin
Ridley. Now
save that for like 3 weeks.
Now Dove Cameron with this one. What's going on these days?
Speaking of long things, Chris Hemsworth in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder, baby. All right, we'll kick it off with a synopsis. Thor embarks on a journey unlike anything he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. However, his retirement gets interrupted by Gore the God Butcher, a galactic killer who seeks the extinction of the gods. So for the reception of this movie, the Rotten Tomato critic score sits at a 68%. The audience score is at an 82%. IMDb is at a 7.1. The projected box office is $135 million for the opening weekend. If anyone's keeping track, that's the 12th biggest debut for the MCU. It sits between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Iron Man 2. And it's also the third highest domestic opening this year behind Doctor Strange and Jurassic World Dominion, surprisingly.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Wow. Top Gun Maverick made less than what Thor's projected, but it made $160 million over its Memorial Day weekend debut. But yeah, so this is directed by Taika Waititi, who directed the last Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. Stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Christian Bale as Gore, Tessa Thompson, and Russell Crowe as Zeus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so what do we think, guys? I will say, just right off the bat, I didn't like it as much as I liked Thor Ragnarok. I don't know if you guys agree or not.
I would agree.
I thought Ragnarok was a lot better.
A lot better?
A lot.
Would you like to elaborate on why?
I will say it's been a long time since I saw Thor Ragnarok.
Me too.
But I remember walking out of Thor Ragnarok and being like, that might have been one of the best like Marvel movies.
I think it is, honestly. It's up there for me.
It was so good. And I walked out of this movie and I was very underwhelmed. So those feelings were not comparable. So that's why I'm saying Ragnarok's a lot better. I don't remember enough details about Ragnarok to do like direct comparisons or anything. I just kind of thought that this one was over the top cheesy.
They did lean into being goofy fun.
Yeah, I think the comedy in this was like overwhelming sometimes to like the point where it really messed with like the tone, especially when you have like really serious moments. Like anytime Christian Bale's on screen, it's very, very serious.
And it's funny because like he was so scary.
Yes.
So like it was such
He
a
was actually pretty
contrast.
scary.
Yeah, like it was such a contrast from like the humor nonstop to just see like his scary eyes in the darkness. And then like there were a lot of times like dealing with the humor all the time where I didn't know if I was missing a joke or if it was supposed to be serious.
I would say like most of the comedy hit, but there were parts in it where I was like, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of people talking about like how the comedy didn't work for them. I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I laughed a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Like there were a lot of times where I was laughing. So there were also times where we were laughing where our theater was not laughing.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Because I try to like pay attention to the theater now because I think it's interesting to like see how the crowd is reacting. And yeah, there were like a few jokes, like the orgy joke, where like I thought that was really funny and nobody laughed in the theater. And I was like, that was the funniest thing, like the whole movie.
like this is supposed to be a kids movie.
Yeah,
We're talking
like
about
that's why
orgies.
it was funny. And like nobody laughed. And I was like,
You are no longer invited to the orgy.
like that was a good little bit.
See, the theater I went to, because we saw this separately, I saw it with like a bunch of, because I went like in the middle of the day and there were a bunch of older people in there and they all laughed at like everything. Like literally every time. Like I remember the first time that they were showing the love interest between Stormbringer and Mjolnir, you know, where like the love triangle.
Yeah.
Like my theater fucking erupted. They were like, they thought this was the funniest thing ever. And so honestly, it kind of made the movie better for me.
I also noticed in our theater that people were laughing a lot harder at the very beginning. And then like the laughing died off very like drastically. Like at the
got
very
tired of it.
Yeah. Like at the very beginning, like right when it first started, people were laughing. Like when the Guardians were there and stuff, like the whole theater was laughing. And then like 40 minutes in, like every single joke, it was just like very, very sporadic giggling.
Yeah. One of my liked reviews is the joke per minute ratio is getting out of hand. And I
Yeah.
think that weighed on some people with how many.
Yeah. Like people were quite literally like tired of laughing.
Yeah. Shout out to the Rich USA on Letterboxd for that one.
Thank you, Rich.
The comedy at certain points, it really helps the movie and then really is to its detriment at certain points. Like I feel like some of the story beats aren't as earned. Like from Gore going from I guess good to bad and then good again at the end. And then even with Jane and what happens to her where she literally just dies. Like I don't know. I just didn't feel like some of that stuff, I wasn't moved by anything.
No, none of that made me feel anything.
Right.
No
Like,
emotions.
Yeah, and that's like one of the biggest takeaways I have is the stakes. I
Yeah.
never felt any stakes at all.
I didn't
was
either.
just watching it. You know?
I mean, the grand finale of this movie is a bunch of kids taking out the big bad monsters that were able to fuck them up pretty bad on that.
I will say,
Shadow
if I was like
planet.
12 years old, I would think that was really cool.
that's okay. I wasn't mad at that.
Nah, yeah. If I was 12 years old, that shit would have made me, I would like be jumping up and down and pretending that was me.
But like to this movie's credit, there's certain things I do like it's detached from the MCU. Like you could watch this as like aside from a few jokes, where there's like the Infinity Gauntlet store
Yeah.
or something like that. Am I fucking with the mic? Okay, sorry, you're looking at it. But the Infinity Gauntlet store and a couple other like jokes in there, I guess. There's not a whole lot. You could watch this by itself without knowing a whole lot about everything else. And the cinematography in this movie was actually really pretty. Like the
This movie was
Shadow
very
Realm
pretty.
fight, that was really good. I was watching, I was like, dang, this is nice.
I was going to talk about that later, but that was quite literally, I think, the prettiest that Marvel's cinematic universe has ever been.
It might be like, this might be the best looking Marvel movie.
Because when it was black and white, first I was like, cool, black and white. And then like when they started illuminating stuff,
Everything that had a light
that was
showing the color.
so cool. And that was
Yeah.
so pretty. And it felt like really unique.
Yes.
And I loved that. I thought that was so nice.
And
Did you guys notice too? Thor's eyes were blue and Gore's eyes were yellow, or like that. Those are the only two things that were colored during their fight.
yeah, I noticed
it.
Gore's
Part of
eyes.
the
I noticed
fight.
his were yellow.
Yeah.
And everything
Thor-
else was black and white.
Thor's eyes were like bright blue. You know.
But also with Multiverse of Madness and this movie, I just feel like these are, for better or worse, they're two directors are very much their directors' movies.
Yeah.
That's not just like an MCU movie where it's like, okay, I don't know who directed this.
Yeah.
But it's actually someone's movie.
Oh, speaking of really pretty things, Chris Hemsworth in this movie. Holy fuck,
Dude, he was
Yeah.
giga chatted up.
fucking ripped.
He was very
Yeah.
giga chatted.
juiced.
Yeah, he was.
He was crazy.
When he was butt ass naked,
Yeah.
my jaw dropped too.
There literally was not a moment though when I was looking at Chris Hemsworth and I was like, he looks bad or he looks average. Like,
yeah, no, he
fucking
looked
jacked
he looked
the whole
crazy in this movie.
Probably like the biggest he's ever been.
Yeah,
He looked
I mean,
really, yeah.
yeah,
he
for
did
sure.
look huge. And speaking of looking huge, I'm going to talk about Jane Foster. I did not like Natalie Portman in this movie.
I didn't either.
I did not think that she did well in this role.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the same thing that we were talking about earlier when Brayden was saying like it didn't hit. Like I feel like her performance was a big reason for that. Like,
Yeah.
and like whenever she tried to give comedy, like I mean, they were
Yeah.
trying to joke, like she was trying to become a superhero, but it was just cringy.
It was kind of like really forced.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I did not like her in this movie like at all. I thought, what is it, Mighty Thor? That character's cool, but I don't know. I did not like her, and also, good lord, man, the CGI'd helmets. They are CGIing helmets onto their fucking heads, man. Why can't we just put them in a helmet? That
whole-
shit looked so bad.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
When it showed her in the helmet, it literally looked like a Snapchat filter, like
did.
with the helmet on. And I was like, oh my God, that looks really bad. And then Thor's was also CGI on when he went in like the comic book Thor uniform.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, why? Like, what's the point? Like, what actually like is the gain of like CGIing that on as opposed to like practical just making that helmet and putting it on?
You know, it's crazy you brought this up because I was going to compare that moment actually in that fight with the CGI'd helmet and all that when they're in the city when the kids get stolen. I was going to compare the CGI in that fight to the CGI in the Shadow World, and it's so different.
I know.
Like, I don't know how they're able to create one of the prettiest moments in Marvel history, but in the same movie have that.
Well, like sometimes with a movie, there's times where people are given a longer time for their VFX and then shorter amounts of time. So like there's times where it will work and then times where it won't because there's a time crunch or something. And so they didn't have enough time to like make sure the lighting was perfect or something. They just had to use something that was usable, I guess. However, I hate the helmet thing. Like just the whole concept of, okay, this helmet is going to appear and then disappear. I hate that concept by itself. But that might be why the CGI sucks. I don't know. Because I'm sure for the Shadow Realm stuff, they were like, okay, this is a big part.
We should probably put a lot
We
of effort
should put a
into
lot
this.
of time into this. And then Natalie Portman's helmet that comes on and off whenever she wants, they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since like Infinity War with their little Ant-Man helmets, I guess, or something. I don't know.
I mean, I thought that the costume design was good and like overall. The only like part that I didn't like was the helmets, but I thought like the other CGI was really good in this movie. All the like Thor's hammer and Zeus's lightning bolt, I liked all the effects and stuff. I thought they were all done really well. And like the shadow creatures or whatever, I thought they were done really well too. I mean, visually the movie looked great. It's just that one.
That's the only time it took me out.
Me too.
Was the helmet
Was the
thing.
helmets.
Yeah, me
that was
too.
literally the only time.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie was pretty. But yeah, that was the only time where I was like, what the heck going on here?
Marvel flex into flex.
Yeah.
They just want to spend the extra million on helmet designs. All right. Well, does anybody have any more thoughts?
I have one final.
Okay, Brayden.
I'll make a closing argument.
It's really my biggest takeaway from this. I don't know if I'm going to read it word for word how I wrote it. But,
Okay.
like my biggest gripe about this is that like Thor, I don't know if you guys, Thor's like one of my favorite characters in Marvel. I'm not sure if he's one of y'all's. Maybe not. I don't know.
He's hot. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
him.
he's a handsome guy.
But like he's a goof, but there's also layers to him. Like through like his arc throughout Infinity War and Endgame, he's literally like just dealing with loss and denial and depression. But he's holding like all that behind, like under, and he's kind of just goofy. But when you talk to him a little bit more, he literally just starts tearing up thinking about everything that he's dealt with. And I feel like in this movie, it takes away from that, and it plays more for laughs rather than just trying to like
Actually.
talk through Thor's struggles.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest just deal with this, is why I don't like some of it.
That's actually a great point, and that brings me. My favorite part of this movie was the ending. I like the ending that they gave, where they gave Thor kind of a purpose. They gave him a daughter
Yeah.
to, like, you know, kind of carry on, be a duo. I do agree though, because you know the whole time they're playing with that line between like depression, and, like haha Thor's so funny,
Right.
and yeah, I mean you kind of hit it right on the head. They're just playing with that, but we didn't talk about it, but that ending I think set it up really well for the next movies and kind of giving him a purpose.
Like yeah, you're right. I'm more like excited for Thor movies now, I guess, with him and his adoptive
Love and
daughter.
Thunder.
Cool
Yeah.
goddaughter, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I like that a lot better than the Guardians, like him being with the Guardians, because the Guardians I think are their own thing, and I feel like they just didn't know what to do with Thor, so they threw him in there.
Yeah.
But now he actually has his own arc again with his own child, and that's kind of a lot better in my opinion.
And it is his own child. That's his actual daughter.
Yeah.
That's just cool.
India Hemsworth. That's her name.
That's why it said special thanks to India Hemsworth in the in the credits,
Yeah.
because you have to sit through the whole.
She
credits.
also is a lot smaller than she was in the movie.
Maybe they CGI'd her a little taller.
I like no joke. Feel like they might have because she's not that big.
India Hemsworth.
I mean, I didn't think she was big.
Oh,
Oh, she's pretty small.
yeah, she's like a baby. At
Yeah,
least in these pictures. And she looked like, I don't know, like,
She looked like
Eight?
like an 8-year-old.
yeah, she's, I mean, maybe these are old
I don't
pictures,
know.
but
They could be just old.
They're probably
pictures.
just old pictures.
yeah. Yeah, because in the premiere one, she looks a lot
Yeah, she does.
She look a lot bigger.
Dude, I completely.
she's 9, I think.
I didn't even talk. The thing that I put in the outline I didn't talk about was the ratings. That was so surprising to me.
What?
It's the what, like
10. She's 10.
Thor this movie is the 4th lowest rated MCU film ever.
Oh, really? That's
and then
crazy.
Multiverse of
it's
Madness is the 5th lowest.
but like by critic scores?
Yeah, Rotten Tomato critic score.
That's
And
crazy.
Eternals is the lowest ever. And those are
68%, and that's the 4th lowest.
Yeah.
Because like that's like 68 is good.
And then those are 3 Phase 4 movies. Those are 3
Yeah.
good ones, and their
Yeah.
top 10 or lower.
I think because people are getting worn out on like the algorithm.
I guess.
I will say on the way home, me and Andy were talking and we were like, I don't know if these movies are like worse than what they used to
They're
be.
not. This one
Yeah.
is not the 4th worst.
No,
MCU.
But,
no,
like-
it's not.
I wasn't enjoying myself with that movie as much as I was with, the ones back in the day like Iron Man and
Yeah.
I guess
Captain
yeah.
America.
I think if
like-
this movie came out 8 years ago, people would have loved it.
It's just like managing expectations. I think is a big one.
Yeah.
And just people are just getting fatigued, like you guys said.
Yeah.
They should have had like a huge break after Endgame.
I mean, when there's a superhero movie every
Yeah, and not have 5 a year.
3 months.
and the TV shows every month.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I think that's probably a lot of it.
Yeah. It's just very, very saturated.
Because I'm with the critics on this. Like, I'm probably going to score it down there with them. But I don't know that it's a bad movie. I just didn't enjoy it that
68
much.
isn't even a bad score.
I just didn't enjoy it as much as I used to enjoy Marvel movies. So one more thing I want to add is that I kind of liked at the end of the movie all their references to Percy Jackson. Did you guys pick up on any of those?
No, because I didn't know what you were talking about when you sent in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
message.
Okay. So the whole premise of the Percy Jackson movies is he stole Zeus's lightning. Like, that's kind of
that
the
is
thing.
what
Like,
happened.
So they have Zeus's lightning bolt now,
The Lightning
and
Thief. That's what the book's called.
yeah,
Yeah.
Percy Jackson
I
lightning.
completely forgot about that.
So they directly do a callback to it when Valkyrie is sitting there at the end of the movie training all the kids. In Percy Jackson, they're the camp that they go to for demigods and stuff. That camp, it was like the exact same scene from the Percy Jackson movie. And the kid, like the main kid in that movie, is what was the kid's name? The black kid.
Grover? He's the goat. Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about Heimdall's,
Heimdall's kid.
Axel.
Yeah. Axel. Yeah.
Axel.
Yeah.
That's his name. Yes. So Axel is sitting there at the end of the movie and he's training with a girl. And the girl he's training with at the end of the movie, that is like a direct callback to the Percy Jackson movie. Because as you guys know, I love Alexandria Daddario.
Yeah.
And
hot take.
I've watched that scene with Annabeth training Percy Jackson.
I was wondering how
so
you-
many times
how you
as a
like-
kid
you
because I
remember.
loved that movie because I loved her.
Okay.
So I would watch that movie over and over again.
Okay.
So when that scene happened, I went, wait, that was the exact same scene as in Percy Jackson. And then all the dots started clicking, and I'm like, oh, lightning thief, wait. And they actually redid that whole scene. So I tried to look this up after the movie, but we saw it on Thursday night, so there wasn't a lot out yet.
Hey, dude, maybe you quite literally discovered it.
I haven't looked since then, but
Maybe it wasn't supposed to be a callback. Maybe it was a ripoff, and you just exposed him.
well,
Maybe.
sorry, Marvel.
Dude, I've done that before. Like when we watched the Batman, I thought like I discovered some Easter eggs, and then I looked it up and I saw nothing about it, and I was like, "Am I crazy?" Or like,
Dude, I'm telling you, I'll put Percy Jackson on the TV right now and
Yeah.
we'll side by side that shit.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised
No, it
because it is
literally
quite
is.
literally like the same plot.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do from here though, but yeah. All right, let's get into our ratings.
I liked this movie. There's a lot of good people that I like looking at. Christian
true.
Bale,
Men and women.
Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson. Russell Crowe was a fat ass.
Yeah, he was.
He's older.
And,
Dave Bautista for a little bit.
yeah, I forgot about Dave.
One
Bautista.
scene.
Or Vin Diesel, perhaps.
Now,
In tree
Vin
form.
Diesel looked great in this movie.
Yeah, he did.
But I liked it overall. Most of the comedy hit for me, and I liked the story. It was just, this isn't like the best Marvel movie ever, but that's not what they were going for. So I'll give it a 75.
Am I next?
I think I'm next.
it's Chris.
I forgot
I
the
think
order.
Christian's next.
All right, so I think I'm probably gonna give this movie a 60%. And I think the comedy just didn't land very much for me other than the adult humor. I thought the adult humor was good, but that was a very small portion of it for me. So, and as far as the plot goes, it didn't blow me away. I thought Gore the God Butcher was awesome. I thought Christian Bale did a really good job with that. But other than that, I didn't really like the movie that much. But there was enough there to give it a 60%. Hunter?
Yeah, I had like a lot of the same thoughts that you did. There's a lot that I kind of these days go into Marvel movies with like no expectations, which, most people go in with like high expectations. So like if I enjoy it, I'm happy. And I didn't like, not enjoy it. I thought it was fine. I laughed a lot. Christian Bale was really good. Chris Hemsworth kind of is just Thor these days. I didn't like the Natalie Portman performance, but I might just be crazy and a Natalie Portman hater. I'll give it a 63%.
Brayden?
I had to go back and look what I gave Multiverse of Madness because I like this one about the same, but because I like Thor more as a character, I'll give it a 76 because I gave Multiverse of Madness a 75. So 76. Give it 1% more.
Also, I'd just like to put this on the record. The Minions movie gets a 76 as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. 76?
Yeah,
You gave it a 76.
yeah. I give Thor a 75.
1 point higher. Yeah, 1 point
okay.
higher than.
It was really close, but
Okay.
the Everything Everywhere All at Once cameo really threw me for a loop.
Yeah. And the Rock cameo, which was also in Thor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that gives us for Thor Love and Thunder a cheese meter score of a 68.5%. Round that up to 69
Hell
for
yeah.
funsies.
We're so boring.
For
That's
those
the
keeping
exact
track,
critic score, dude. It's 68. It's fucking
for those keeping track, by the way, the Minions average score was a 76.
Oh, well.
Damn.
Good job, Alex, here.
76 divided by
We're
1.
just really, really good at agreeing with the critics. That's all we're learning.
And we're always all over the place, so
We really are.
we always just meet in the middle.
Yeah. It's true. This was the first podcast we've had in a long time. I don't know. I don't even know what to say as we close this out.
I
other
think the
than-
most important thing that should be said is Tony Sirico will always be known as Polly Walnuts.
Okay. All right. If you made it this far, then we thank you. If you enjoyed what you heard today, go ahead and like this video if you're on YouTube, or leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at _PodRats. Your support means everything and keeps us motivated to be here every week, month, year. I don't know what it is at this point, but that being said, We'll see you next time. Until then, put yourself first and take care of each other. Bye, guys.
I'll see you later.